Hello and welcome back to another version of CakeWaves.
I didn't know we had multiple versions.
I didn't know. Another episode.
I thought there was only one version of this show.
Another episode of CakeWaves. Sorry.
And link in description for our Spanish version. If we ever do one of those.
Sorry, my bad. Bad intro.
But today we got something special for you guys.
Super special.
A little bit different. We're not going to be doing a traditional just topic for the podcast. We're going to be answering some of your guys' questions.
Yep. We had a couple questions on our update vlog we posted on our YouTube channel. If you haven't checked that out, check us out at youtube.com/user/CakeDrainProductions, all one word. And we post a lot of random videos and updates and stuff like that, so make sure to check that out.
Yeah, in the vlog we basically just talked about like the new lineup of stuff for Cake Drain, the channel and the podcast. So for the updates on how that's going to work out, go check that out. But the first question that we got was from our good friend Derek the Real D-Rock. He also does podcasts and has a couple YouTube channels, so check those out. But his question was, what 5 countries we would most like to live in? And I'm assuming he meant other than the one we already live in,
other than
the United States. So we're going to go through 5 countries other than the U.S. that we would like to live in. You want to start off?
Yeah, the first one, this is in no particular order. This is just kind of ones that I've thought about. First one I would is Ireland, because I have a lot of Irish heritage. I've seen a lot of pictures of Ireland. Beautiful country. I love, like, the people seem really nice from what I've seen. I mean, I'm sure I'm way off, but it's like beautiful landscapes. The just overall country. I love the folklore because I'm a nerd and I've looked into that kind of stuff. But you know, you got to think of like all the awesome stuff that Ireland can bring. You know, so that's why it's one of my countries. Is beautiful country to live in, and it's somewhere I've always loved to visit. So I think it'd be cool to live there.
Yeah, Ireland was one of mine also. That I chose for my top 5. I guess I'll just go through mine pretty quickly. I mean, I'm not going to pretend like I know a whole lot about each one of these countries in terms of like political standpoints and economic situations and things like that, but just right off the bat, Ireland was one of mine. I also have a little bit of Irish heritage. Another one is New Zealand, because it's really beautiful, and I've heard a lot of good stuff about New Zealand. England, the UK, I should say, the UK in general as a country, and Germany, because that's where most of my heritage comes from, and I've heard a lot of good things about Germany. I heard the people there are really, really nice, a lot of history. And then I guess my last one would have to be like Italy, because I love Italian food. I know it sounds like a silly reason, but it's beautiful in Italy, and they have like the best food out there, man. So those are my 5.
Mine are actually very similar. Like I said, Ireland. I would love to live in Italy because my wife's part Italian, and love the food, love just the hospitality nature of Italy, the way they portray it. Also, as well, I would love to live in New Zealand because I love Australian things, but I don't want to. But it's a little too dangerous, so I'll just stay next door in New Zealand. And I would love to. One of mine, I know it seems random, but Canada. I would love to live in Canada. Seems like a great country. A lot of Cake Drain Nation is from Canada, and just also because of the great movie making that goes on up there. That'd be really cool to be around that area, as well as just all the different stuff you can find in Canada. I mean, that you can't find in the U.S. or many other places. Let's see, how many was that? My last one would have to be, a lot of people are going to kill me. A lot of the Irish would be like, what? But Scotland. Scotland would be another one.
Scotland's part of the UK.
It is part of the UK. But again, the culture, the landscape, all that fun stuff. So those are my list on that. let us know what countries that you guys would love to live in,
or what country you live in. If you're not,
if you live in one of these countries, let us know what it's like. Maybe it'd be cool to hear from a local's point of view. That'd be a great thing.
And I think kind of unfortunately the general consensus of most people is that they don't like where they live and that they always are wanting to live somewhere else. And I'm not saying all of you guys out there are like that. I just know most people that I know are just not content with where they live, like whether it's the state or the city or the country or the planet. They're just not content with where they're at. But I mean, I would encourage you guys to just, just for the sake of your own happiness, be content with where you're at, no matter where that is. A lot of people, since I moved to Missouri, a lot of people ask me, well, why'd you move here? Of all the places. And I'm like, well, I don't know. I don't know why people moved to New Mexico and where I'm originally from. But just because these are some places that we would like to go doesn't mean that we don't like America. And it doesn't mean that we don't like other countries that maybe we didn't know about.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought about putting Canada on there, but I thought, maybe it's too easy, maybe too similar to America. I don't know. Like I said, I'm fully admitted to the fact that I'm ignorant about a lot of these things. This is just kind of a fun question, so we're not trying to offend anybody.
It was definitely intriguing to think about that. Because we thought about visiting countries, but, like, where would we want to live and be a part of it? And that's a really cool thing to think about. Maybe, ponder on that yourself. Think about, if I could live another country, where would it be? Or what's some places that I would like to live?
Yeah.
And it'll actually surprise you a bit, I think.
Yeah, and I think it's more about life's journey than and less about, oh, well, I just don't like living here, I'm going to go live somewhere else.
Free, do what you want to do, spread your wings, but also, keep your roots where you're planted is also, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Because you may change places, 10, 20 times throughout your life, but the key to being happy is just being content with where you're at, knowing that, you may not be here forever, but if you are, that's okay, and if you're not, that's also okay.
Yep.
So just, I don't know, a little encouragement from Cake Drain on that one.
Which is what we always like to do. Give you a little bit of encouragement, make you feel better, make you...
Yeah, I mean, it's Friday.
Comfortable.
It's Friday. You're supposed to be in a good mood. So
For sure.
Kick off the weekend right with some CakeWaves in your ear hole.
That's right. So our next question was from our buddies over at Ironically Smart, more specifically our buddy Chance. He asked, what are some qualities to look at movies to watch with that special someone and why? Well, depends. That could.
Here, let me look up the specific question because I don't know.
Let's read this question.
If that was exactly
the specific.
I thought the question was something else, similar, but.
Pardon the pause, but we're gonna check this out.
I'll check.
Just
sing them some Christmas music.
It's too early for Christmas. Okay, Christmas shouldn't be sang till after Halloween. I'm throwing that out there right now. Let's see.
All right. The question is... When choosing okay, so this is what I thought it was. When choosing a movie for that special someone in your life, whoever it may be, girlfriend, mother, brother, whatever, what factors should be considered? So this is basically... Chance is asking that... What factors do you consider when picking a movie to show somebody? So if it's your mom, you're going to have different factors than you would with like your girlfriend or your dad or a friend or something like that. Mm-hmm. So I mean, I'm going to go straight forward with my answer to the question and just say, think about the types of movies that this person likes. Do they like comedies? Do they like action movies? Things like that. And also, I have connections with people through movies just because that's kind of how I was raised. I grew up watching movies with my mom a lot, and we used to watch a lot of like science fiction movies. So anytime I'm watching science fiction, it makes me think of my mom because we have that connection. So first, just go basic and try to see if you can find a genre connection with that person. What's some factors that you think you should consider, Drake?
Well, I'd go along with that, but also, think of the situation as well. I mean...
Like occasion?
Yeah, the occasion on which you're going to be watching this or showing them this? Is it just friends hanging out and say, hey, I just watched this movie, would you want to see it? Or is it, say, you know, you're with that significant other and it's like a date night? Because there's a lot of different factors to go into that. So, say for example, you know, you're hanging out with your friends and stuff. If it's, you know, something of that nature, you want something that's entertaining for you guys. So, like Kane said, think of what you guys enjoy together. What's something that, you know, brings you all together? Like me and Kane, we love horror films, but also we love like cheesy horror films because they make us laugh, because they're fun to laugh at. You know, do you like, you know, fantasy films? Do you like stupid comedies? Do you like really intellectual, you know, films? You know, what kind of things do you guys enjoy? And if it's in a date scenario, what kind of, you know, atmosphere are you trying to set? Do you want them really close and grabbing onto you? Do you want a more like lovey-dovey feel? You know, what exactly are you looking at in that sense? Because, you know, picking a movie for that occasion can be either or, and will that, you know, the person you're trying to impress like that film? Because if you do have someone who's more into the romance, you don't want to take them to go see Texas Chainsaw Massacre 13, you know, that's going to ruin a date.
Right. I think that's really, really valuable,
Advice?
Yes, really valuable advice, and I think it segues well into my next point is think about what type of a mood this person is in. Because most people don't just watch one genre of film. Most people like many different kinds of genres, and so you have to think, okay, well, my friend or my girlfriend, she likes chick flicks, and she likes action movies, and she likes comedies, but what mood is she in right now? And so either through a line of more specific or vague questions, you can determine what type of a mood your significant other is in, and then tailor your movie choice to that. So if the person is like kind of down, you know, I'm not really feeling that great, well, you probably don't want to go watch a really sappy, dramatic romance. You may want to watch a comedy to lift the mood.
For sure.
Yeah, to lift everybody's spirits.
And, you know, if they're in a, you know, for me, for example, I'll throw you guys a little bit of my, you know, my way of putting movies with mood. If I'm, you know, having a stressful day where I'm just like angry at the world and I don't like to, I watch a slasher film. I know that sounds really weird, but it does make sense because I can watch somebody do the things my mind is trying to tell me to do. So I like live vicariously through that. And it's a safe way to do that. But, you know, and whenever you throw out hints like that, make sure if it's with your significant other, you may want to give specific examples. Like you want to watch a comedy. Hey, sweetie, do you want to watch, say, Dumb and Dumber? Or do you want to watch Heat? Do you want, you know, what kind of movies do you want to look? What, you know, get an idea of not only the genre but maybe more specific type they're looking for. And also it does, you know, kind of go with, you know, what type of mood they're in, you know, emotionally, and, you know, what kind of movies they've been into watching. Because those multiple things can all come into one, can lead you to one conclusion. You just have to ask the right questions, find, you know, go through the layers to find the core.
Right. Because sometimes it's not as easy to interpret your significant other's mood, especially if it is like, say, a girlfriend or a wife. And I speak from experience. Sometimes it's best to, you know, you ask, okay, well, what genre are you in the mood for? Oh, well, I don't know, and it's just kind of whatever. Okay, so where do you go from there? Just ask me that, Drake.
Well,
where do you go from there,
Where do you go from there, Kane?
Well, I'll tell you where you go from there. You just think of some things, okay? You think, okay, these are the genres that my significant other likes. Uh-huh. So pick some specific titles out of that umbrella category and suggest them, and then really, really pay attention to the reaction. Oh, do you want to watch Bruce Almighty? Sure. That's a no. That's I'm going to tell you right off the bat, you probably don't want to put that one in.
In any situation you hear, sure, or whatever you want to do, that's a no. That's a no.
You got to keep trying harder, because you don't want to put in that movie and commit to press and play, and then looking over to your significant other, and they're just like, bored, upset out of their mind, like they're on their phone because they don't want to be watching it. You got to really pay attention to that reaction, and then you'll see the spark light up in their eyes whenever you suggest that perfect movie. Oh, Space Jam it is! Shazam Bam Bizzle. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. And also, you know what? If your significant other, say girlfriend or wife, is having a rough day, or if they're choosing a movie, be willing to put out movie ideas that you may not necessarily agree with, want to watch, but you know, sometimes you gotta give a little leeway, movie-wise.
Yeah, there's compromise in every relationship.
You can't just be like, I don't want to watch that. You know, you gotta be like, sure, that sounds great. We can watch The Notebook. That sounds awesome. You know? I mean, no offense to anybody who likes The Notebook out there. That's just an example.
Hey, and one thing that you can do to set kind of like it can be almost like a fun game. This is something that me and my wife did for a while. Is we would take turns picking a stack of like 5 movies. So I say it was my turn to pick the stack. I would pick 5 movies that I was kind of wanting to watch, and then I would let her pick one from that 5, and then we would take turns doing that. And so it kind of creates a way for everybody to kind of get to watch what they want to watch. I mean, you may not be wanting to watch what your significant other picks this time, but maybe whenever you pick next time, you know, you get to watch whatever. You can figure out some sort of a compromising setup like that, if the situation is appropriate. Now, this is more of in the context of like me and my wife. I mean, it's not going to be the case with like you and a parent or you and your friend or something, but just think creatively.
Yeah, and also with your parents, think of the relationship you have. I mean, you know, if you're...
Don't watch 50 Shades of Grey with your parents. That's what Drake is saying.
Okay, after I try to swallow that vomit out of my mouth. Sorry, no. But, you know, think about, you know, like my parents, we enjoy a large variety, you know, in opposite ends of the spectrum. You know, one night we could watch, you know, a Disney movie, some Disney movie that we've been wanting to see, or the next night we could go watch Mama, or some like supernatural horror film that's like uber scary. So, you know, try to find out, you know, remember what your parents like, what you both like in common, and find a equal playing field on that. And parents, you know, if you're trying to watch movies with your kids, you know, find something that they like and that you can enjoy, you know, or even stuff that you can put up with that may, you know, get to you and you may start enjoying it. You never know. So, you know, it's good to, you know, I hate to use this word, but experiment with movies, you know, throw out ideas, maybe, you know, see what they've been watching and see what things they're interested in. And if you can find a movie that maybe you think you both have shared interest in, that'd be a great thing to go with, or maybe just throw out the idea and see what they say.
Yeah, take note of relevant things throughout daily or however often conversations you have with this person. Like if you're having lunch with your dad one day and something comes up about Star Wars, and then that weekend you're trying to figure out something to watch. Well, me and Dad were just talking about Star Wars. Hey, Dad, you want to watch Star Wars? You know, just pick up on little subtleties like that throughout your relations with your significant other, and that can give you clues as to what maybe they've been thinking about, what they're in the mood for, what they might want to watch. Maybe they don't even know it, but you suggest it, and the spark ignites. And then it's movie time, people.
Yeah.
So I think the biggest things that we've observed here today, kind of a summary, is think of the person's personal tastes. Mm-hmm. Consider their personal tastes. Consider the situation. Who is this? Where is this? What time is this? Is it a holiday? Mm-hmm. And then also, what is my last point?
Relationship.
Yes, relationship, and monitor their reactions, suggest things, and experiment. And if you do all of these things, you will be well on your way to a good movie relationship with everybody that you have a relationship with.
So I hope you guys have enjoyed our advice for today on movies and also where we'd like to live. Let us know in the comments what you guys thought of it, what maybe some movie tips that you guys have, or if you have any other questions that we could answer here on our CakeWaves, make sure you post those. Also, Monday we're posting a new episode of the Cake Drain Show. Woo! So make sure you guys check that out over on
Yeah.
our YouTube channel. Also, follow us on Twitter at CakeDrain, where we post all kind of fun stuff and exclusives.
Yeah, tweet your questions to #CakeWaves.
And also use hashtag CakeDrainShow for our YouTube show. And if you're also check out my channel, Drake the True Snake, where you can check out behind the scenes vlogs, kind of weekly updates of what's going on in the world of Cake Drain and our day-to-days. And use hashtag TrueSnakeVlog if there's something that you guys would like me to answer personally. That would be really cool too.
Yes, and we mentioned it before. Don't forget to check out our friend D-Rock. He's got 2 YouTube channels, Wrestling Talk 1, where he talks about all stuff wrestling, and At The Real D-Rock 1. It's his vlogging channel. He talks about all kinds of other stuff. Check out D-Rock. It's just D-Rock here on SoundCloud, and because he inspired us to do this podcast, so gotta give him props for that. And also, last hashtag Cake Games, so you can suggest us things to do for Cake Games. We want to do more gaming videos in the future, but we need your suggestions and your feedback on that. But next week won't be a gaming video, it will be a skit video, so look out for that in the middle of the week. And we will see you next time, and you will hear us next time on CakeWaves.
Peace out.
And remember, Bruce!